Hi everyone and welcome. It's Lauren here from Acting Classes in Perth, and you're watching The Daily Show, the show where I'm here to answer all your acting related questions at 7 p.m. every single day here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and now Twitter simultaneously, plus an audio only version now available in the iTunes podcast directory. You can search in the iTunes podcast directory for that by simply searching Acting Classes in Perth. Now, before we roll the intro, I would love to invite you to join me at one of my free 3-hour acting classes for beginners. We have classes for all ages and all experience levels, so please don't think that you've missed the boat. We would love to see you there. Be sure to check out all of our upcoming courses. You can do that at actingclassesinperth.com/free, or simply follow the link in the description of this video to see when and where my next free class for beginners is being held, and they are so much fun. It doesn't matter whether you want to explore acting because you want to be an actor, or whether you want to explore acting for the developmental improvements of your confidence, of your public speaking skills, or you just want to come along and meet a whole lot of people and have some fun as well. We would very much love to see you there, so be sure to check it out. It's a very relaxed and very fun environment. But first of all, let's roll the intro. Before we get into today's question, if you are watching us right now, please give us a huge thumbs up. I would love to know that you're out there, and leave a comment or simply ask a question. You know what? If you don't know what to say, just say hello. I would love to know that you are with us right now. Plus, stay tuned, because towards the end of this episode, I have another student shout out for a student out there who has achieved so much since starting with me here at Acting Classes in Perth. But first of all, here's today's question.
I have an idea for a movie. What do I do now?
John, thank you so much for sending in your question. Look, I would say get your ideas down on paper. I think that's the first step, and that's not writing a script. That's just jotting down any ideas you have, or kind of any scenes you have, any thoughts you might have around the character. And then what you're going to do is start to put together a bit of a story arc, and that might be in the form of, making notes in a notebook, but it also might be in the form of cards that you can write different aspects or different points to that story and start to plot it out and move them around into different spaces. What you'll then want to do is, if you have never written before, then I very much encourage you to find a writer who has written a script. Even if it's a short script, a short film, then that's fine, right? And a student filmmaker would probably be quite interested as well in working with you, especially if it's a feature-length movie that's 90 minutes or longer. So I would say find a writer and start kind of building and collaborating with them. And over time, you're going to put a script together. Now, that will take a couple of months, but that's a very normal process and a very normal time frame, John. So get that script down, and don't maybe kind of get halfway in and then go to re-look at it, or get a few pages in and go back and improve those things. Just get it all down. Just get it all down on paper, or get it all down in a Word doc or something like that. Get the script done, right? Because then once you've finished that first draft, then you can go back and start looking at how you can improve the script. But don't go back and start improving the script until you've gotten the entire first draft out. And then, yes, then you look at rewriting. Why? We have to remember that scripts are not written. They are rewritten. It's a great writing quote. I don't know who came up with it, but it is so incredibly true. So you will want to work for a couple of months, maybe even up to a year, John, with your writing partner, to always be focused on refining it and improving it and fixing some of the the plot points and improving the story arc and the characters arc as well, and ensuring that you have a solid script through the rewriting process. And then be sure throughout this whole process and this all life consuming task, because sometimes it does get like that, right? You have to always keep the momentum flowing, keep it going, and continue moving forward step after step. And once you've done a whole pile of script revisions, John, it's at that point that you can start looking for a director or a producer, and they're probably going to be an independent or low budget or even a student filmmaker as well. But that's okay, because you're starting and they're starting, and it's your first project that you're kind of producing and somewhat writing as well. So that's absolutely okay. You start at the bottom like everyone and you work your way up, every film improving and improving. And once you've gotten together with a local filmmaker, director or producer or director-producer team, then you and your writer are going to come in with that director, with that producer, and you're going to start developing, and you're going to start going into the early stages of pre-production. And then everything else kind of flows out into making a movie, and that's a whole different episode. But John, I hope that's a great start for you, man. Please don't hesitate any longer. Step 1 tonight: get your ideas down on paper. John, thank you so much for sending in your question. Right now, it's time for another student shout out. Today's student shout out just goes to an absolute legend. Now, in class, this actor's partner wasn't able to join us on the second day, unfortunately, due to a family incident. So I had to jump in kind of last minute and work with this chap. And whilst he had not had any major acting experience before, he had done improvisation, right? And he's a master of improvisation. And so it was so incredibly fun to trust in you, to go on a journey with you. Jay Overington, it was a pleasure in your level 1 workshop, man, to really jump into that scene with you and to go on what was actually quite a wacky scene and journey. And I'm really excited for what's coming up for you in the near future, because what I realized, Jay, is your ability to handle quick change on the spot beyond just improvisation. But when your partner for the scene wasn't able to do the second day, you just managed that and handled that so incredibly well. And to be honest, when we look for actors in casting spaces, that's one of the things that we're looking for. How can this person handle and manage change, especially under stressful environments? And you just nailed it, man. And it was an absolute pleasure to work with you, and I'm very excited to continue that growth moving forward. Jay, congratulations in landing today's student shout out. If you liked today's question, show your support by clicking the share button and help out your fellow actor right now. And if you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter, be sure to like and follow our page. And if you're watching us on YouTube, simply click subscribe, and then be sure to hit the notifications bell next to it. And finally, if you are listening to us on iTunes, simply click subscribe. Plus, don't forget to join me at my next free 3-hour acting class for beginners, where we have so much fun, so many laughs, and it is so creative, and it is a fun space for you to explore acting and learn how acting can enhance and benefit your everyday life. You can find out where my next class is being held by visiting actingclassesinperth.com/free, or check out the link in the description of this video. I very much look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am very much awaiting you again tomorrow at 7 p.m. for another awesome question answered by me. But until then, stay safe and, like always, happy acting.